Well, hello and welcome to Biology 1004. It is Biology, a Human Approach. So essentially, we're going to get to know not only biology, but some anatomy and physiology. So I am your instructor, Vanessa. You can call me Professor Vanessa. My YouTube is Professor Vanessa. And so I'll share that with you a little bit later. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I am going to kind of walk you through what you need to know in this course. We are on the main Pikes Peak page. So when you go to log in, kind of already logged in and got some tabs going, but let me show you. You go up here to that main portal page. It's going to push you to log in. You're going to have to do the duo identify, and you'll see what that is when you're there. So once you're here, you're going to have something similar to this. Okay. So because I am your instructor, I get a lot more, but you're going to have some similarities. The one thing is you got your help desk, and this is where your courses are found. You will also see Office 365. We're going to talk about this a little bit later. I don't want to start off with it. And then you will see your email. This right here is your student email. When communicating with me during email, you have to send it to my official Pikes Peak email, okay? And you have to be using your student email. Let's go ahead and go into my courses first. When I click on my courses, it's going to take me here. So this is your course, Bio 004. That is the course number. That is the course call number. It's not the CRN course number, but the course call number. And this X03, that is your section number. Okay, so when you are emailing me, make sure you are including all of this, because as you see, I have a busy semester and I can answer those personal questions when you email me so much quicker. As you see, I've already have our course announcements, okay? It is really, really important that you are checking your announcements at least several times a week, okay? And specifically, the first couple of weeks, you really probably should be checking them every day. We got a lot of things to say, and it's really hard to put it in one big book. And so, all right, actually, before we go any further, why don't you go ahead and pull out a piece of paper and a pencil? As we go through this welcome video, you are going to see some little animals or maybe organs. I don't know. We'll just see how it takes us. Pop up right there. See? So you're going to write them down. So as you watch this welcome video, whenever they pop up, write them down. Make sure to keep them in order, because when you take your syllabus quiz, those animals are going to be asked, you're going to be asked a question, what they were and in what order. And it's a significant number of points. So make sure that you are catching all of those. All righty, so let's go ahead and move on. So as you see here, I have our little welcome letter, welcome announcement. And as I go through, let's go ahead and talk about this. This is an asynchronous online course. Asynchronous means you do not, quote, show up for lectures. This is a guided online self-study, and you have required discussions. So when I tell you it's a guided online, it is not that everything is available and you can just do it at your own pace. There are very specific due dates, and you have very specific openings. So for example, you have, say, module exam number 1 is only open for a specific time. It opens on X date, it closes on X date. Everything is not open now, and you can just do it whenever you want or just have it done by the due date. And so with that, keep that in mind. As you can see here, course syllabus. Let's go ahead. I'm going to open that in another tab, and that way we can go ahead and visit it. So I just opened another tab. You can see here's the course syllabus. You have access to that already. I actually emailed it out. If you're in my fall 25 semester, I should have done a good job of emailing it out to you ahead of time. So let's go ahead and go through this. I know you can read, but there are some very important things on here. The one is, hey, watch the course video. And I had some technical gremlins that kept me from getting this out on Monday. And I apologize. I'm so sorry. Hopefully, if you're listening to this video in a future semester, that's not the case because I'll already have the video done. So that'll be great. Anyway, so as you can see, it says syllabus quiz is going to be due on Friday, August 22nd. Because of the gremlins, because I'm having to redo this video, I'm going to go ahead and extend this to Sunday. You don't see it up here yet because I didn't want to write a new due date and then have more issues. So just go ahead and watch out for that. Have other first assignments is going to be an introduction discussion. So click on here to see that introduction discussion. Basically, it is just going to send you to the discussions tab, straight to the intro. So to show you what that looks like now, water cooler, discussion, introduction. So you're going to go ahead, make sure you introduce yourself. You should be doing this by Wednesday, the third day of discussion opening. I'm not going to slide down much more because students have already participated and it'll show the student's name of who last participated. So that's why I'm not sliding down more. But you can go ahead and check that out. All righty, slide back up on here. This is my office hours. Okay, you'll see me reference to that in just about every single announcement. If you have course questions, content questions, technology questions, actual questions about biology and anatomy, you put them here, okay? So I don't answer these kind of questions via email. All my questions are put here so that I can answer them to all the class. So I'm really excited. I understand this is new for students, that other instructors don't do this, but oh my gosh, I wish I could teach a class to instructors on how to really do this, because once we get the hang of it, it is smooth sailing from here, I promise you. Alrighty, so if you have a question that is very specific to you, okay? So you have an illness, right? And you have, hey, we still get some COVIDs, right? So, Miss Aragon, check this out. Here's a picture of my positive COVID test. I'm really not feeling good. Guess what? That's excused. That's when you email me, okay? You email me those things. I have a lot of people who are going to be for military, going to be moving smack dab in the middle of the semester. And with that, you know, how do you be moving across the country and driving while you're on your computer? Kind of can't. So those are considered excused absences. And you will email me and we will discuss that via email. Don't put your personal stuff in my office hours, okay? And don't put course stuff via email, because I'll just answer you, be like, hey, that's a great question to put in my office hours. And so if you're shy about, posting your question, I always say, you look, there's no stupid questions. It's just, there isn't. I guarantee you probably have a question that 10 other people also have. But if you don't want to attach your name to it, it's all good. You can post anonymously. I still left that available. We just want to make sure to keep it civil here. If for any reason that is not the case, so here or in the water cooler, I can find out who is posting. So anyway, so here we go. I want to show you this. Haha. Here's my office hours. I'll read it to you. Open most days about 9 or 10, occasionally as early as 7, but sometimes as late as 12 or 1. We close at about 5:30 or 6, occasionally about 4 or 5, but sometimes as late as 11 or 12. I don't know. Is that PM, AM? I don't know. Some days or afternoons, we aren't even here at all. And lately, I've been here just about all the time. That is the truth. So except when I'm someplace else, but I should be here too then. So the real thing to know is after 3 o'clock on Fridays, I don't answer emails or office hours. They will be answered that next Monday. Okay. Generally, I'm answering within, I don't know, a few hours or so, if not sooner. But a good rule of thumb is 12 to 24 hours. So there you go, Respondus. I'm linking to another announcement. It tells you how to do Respondus. You have to download it and go ahead and click on the mock quiz. When you click on the mock quiz, if you don't already have it downloaded into Google Chrome, by the way, you need to be using Google Chrome. Doesn't matter what anything says. I'm telling you from my experience, you need to use Google Chrome or you're most likely going to have issues. So you click on it, it's going to tell you, hey, you need to download it. Download the latest version of Lockdown Browser. Now, if you already have it downloaded in another browser, it's still going to make you download it into your Google Chrome. So use Google Chrome. I don't know how to say that anymore. So you download, install, go through this process, then reinitiate that quiz, this one here, right? It's a practice quiz. So that way you can practice downloading it and using it. And then you get to use it, okay? So if you have any questions, put them in my office hours. Once you have it downloaded, once you've read what you need to do in the syllabus, okay, you're going to take this Respondus quiz. This is required by August 22nd for this fall semester. Remember, if you're in a different semester, you're going to have different dates and refer to your D2L and your syllabus for your current dates. All right, these are all the things you need to know about it. Okay, it tells you when you open it up, and look at that. You have questions. There's even some videos to watch while you're in the quiz, so you can take this quiz. Back to course home. If you ever get lost, go to course home. Alrighty then. Moving into or past that, this is huge. Respondus does not work on Chromebook. I don't have control over this. Chromebooks do not work with Respondus. Okay. I work once or twice, but most of the time, not at all. Chromebooks do not work with Office 365. You cannot download Office 365, and that is required in your course. And I'll tell you about that here pretty soon. So unfortunately, if you have a Chromebook, you need to make other arrangements like going to your home campus and using your home campus computers. Oh, wow. Did you see that pop up? Okay. So if you recall, here was your startup. Okay. This was your little bubbles. And this is your Office 365. We need this for Word. We may need it for PowerPoint. The first thing that shows up on here is how to use Microsoft Copilot. Click on the apps. As you can see here, these apps, by the way, they are free for Colorado Community College students. Your home college allows you these for free. As you look at this, these are online apps. Students, don't use those, because I am telling you, if you work from these online apps, Word and PowerPoint, they are not compatible to upload your assignments into D2L. I promise you. I don't care how many times students try it, it still has issues. It doesn't show the pictures, the formatting's all over the place. It might not even work at all. What you need to do, and you absolutely need to do this. I'm trying to show you my urgency in my tone of voice. You have to install these apps onto your desktop, okay? You install them. I already have them installed, so it's not going to work for me to show you. But look at that, Microsoft Office 365. You install them on your app, on your desktop, and then when you use them, you are going to use them on your desktop. Do you see on your desktop where you have Microsoft Word? It is there. This is exactly what you are looking for, friends. What you are not going to use. Let's go ahead and change up my share. hide everything. That way it's just easier to navigate around. You're not going to use it if it's in a browser tab. I hate to click this, but I'm going to show you what not to do. Okay. If I were to click Word, do you see how it opened in a browser tab? And it says, welcome, Vanessa Aragon. Don't do that. That is absolutely what you're not going to do. Move on to the next phase of stuff. And that is read your lab safety and take the lab safety quiz by Friday. If you're in a different class, please make sure that you check those due dates. Now, come on, some of this lab safety is obvious that it was made for in class, but I think that it's still very valid and very applicable because you need to know lab safety when you're in your future work environment, right? But specifically, you should know, even at home, you should not be wearing sandals when you're working with your lab materials. So please, you still have to take the lab safety quiz using this information, even if this is a online class. Okay, you can do that on your own. Clicking on syllabus and schedule. So here is your syllabus. I'm going to go ahead and open that in a new tab. I think I already did before. We're going to let it be. This simple syllabus is essentially the same exact thing. This is a Word document that I uploaded. This is an electronic one that is just available to students everywhere. And so it should be the same. Sorry, not should be. It is the same thing. It just might be in a slightly different order. Hey, I really love this one. I'm required to put this one. Let's move this party on. Required lab kit, academic accommodations, and accessibility. This is important. If you feel that in college that you are definitely a candidate for an accessibility contract, that is valid. It's legitimate. Nobody needs to know about it. Visit your home college's accessibility services. They will get with you, and you can talk about your specific situation, and they decide what would be appropriate accommodations for you in your college journey. This has to be renewed each semester, and the student has to give the instructor a current copy of that accessibility contract in order for the instructor to apply that. So here's your e-text. I've been teaching community college for 23 years, and I've been at Pikes Peak for 14 of those years. And so I have a lot of experience in different textbooks, and I'm letting you know, this is actually a good one. Moving into modules. So if you notice, I have all the modules hidden, okay? I just want to make them available one at a time. Don't worry, I'll give you ample amount of time before the next chapters are going to be due. But you can see here, this is our learning objectives, what we'll be covering in this module, along with your ebook. You should be reading your ebook in conjunction with looking with what is in these modules. And so as you see here, this folder is going to contain other additional documents, okay? Introduction to Science and Biology, Human Biology, feedback, molecules. These are considered supplementary to the information that is in your ebook. So they're not in place of them, okay? So just kind of giving you a little view of what that looks like. Here is your Module 1 labs, clicking in here. Lab safety rules for on-campus and online. I've already showed you that. Here's that, how to download Office 365. I've already showed you that. We're back at the home page. Go to contents. I'm going to go to syllabus. Okay, you can do one of two things. You can open your syllabus just like such. Great. You can look at it on here, or you can download your syllabus. I highly suggest downloading your syllabus, okay? If there are any changes to the due dates, which sometimes happen, I will, and they're usually pushed out. I will never do anything sooner, but I will post them in the announcements. You can just make that adjustment on your downloaded syllabus. Let's look at it here, okay? I'm going to go really quick. Please make sure that you are still collecting those animals. I didn't forget about that, and I hope you didn't either. All right, so here's all the information you need to know about your course and about its delivery. Here is my information. Please make sure you are reading through that. This is my department's information at Pikes Peak at Pikes Peak State College. This is not your information at your home college, okay? Now, I highly suggest, please don't call them asking to talk to me. I talk through my discussion board, and also I offer students Zoom meetings to review anything that, like for example exams. Okay, I don't do tutoring through Zoom meetings. I do tutoring through my office hours. Okay, because I guarantee you, if one student in the class has that question, everybody does. Now, important dates. Here we go. These are all the important dates. This right here, drop date, September 2nd. Now, unfortunately, number one, this is the correct date. But on the Pikes Peak homepage, I don't know about other college pages, that was wrong. Got an email from my department dean saying, change your dates to September the 2nd. So this is the withdrawal date. I'm sorry, this is the drop date and the census date. So which means if you have not participated by this date, then I will drop you out of the class, okay? And participation is a specific, not an introduction, not the YouTube, a specific academic type of assignment. All righty then, here's the withdrawal date. Once you pass this first one, you've paid for the class. So why not go all the way to the withdrawal date and see how you do? Man, holidays, I love it. The beginning of the semester, I'm always looking for when's the next holiday? And do you know what that means? You are not required to participate in the class, and I don't require you to. Now, could you possibly have an exam that is open during this time? Yes, but you don't have to participate during that time. You can participate on Sunday, you can participate on Wednesday, Thursday, whatever, but I don't require you to. And guess what? I don't answer questions during the holidays, because not only is it your holiday, it is my holiday too. So just letting you know that. Here's the end of the course. All right, friends, here is the course description. Make sure you have read that. Here's the master syllabus, just in case you need that for that guaranteed transfer, to transfer to any university or community college in the Colorado system. Now, this does not guarantee that it is a transfer outside of the state. All righty, right here, required book. I already showed you where to find that. Additional materials. I told you that the download of Office 365 is required and does not work with Chromebooks. Your lab kit is required. Now, highly recommended. This is a really cool app. And you can find other really cool apps on your iPhone, on your Android, whatever that looks like. And that helps with completing your homework and also studying, but it's not required, okay? Metric ruler. You're going to need that for your labs, especially this first lab. Same thing with inexpensive colored pencils for the graphs, okay? Eye protection. That may be included in your lab kit. Maybe you wait. If you don't get it in your lab kit, then you can just order it. Internet. Okay, not having reliable internet, unfortunately, is not an excused absence. If you are not confident of your internet, or you cannot use Respondus lockdown browser on your technology, don't go buy something new, okay? Just go to your home campus to participate. Unfortunately, those are the options. So if you do not agree to, number one, having your face and your computer being recorded, or you don't have the capability of that because you have to have a video camera that is functional and one that's clear on the face, right? And then also audio. If you don't have that technology, go to your nearest campus. Otherwise, you might want to consider signing up for a face-to-face course. All right, so you have all this information, general course objectives, lab, course guidelines. You should plan on studying more than 3 hours a week for this course. Lab guidelines, letting you go through. Okay, lab requirements, students. In each of your lab reports, you are going to find this written. So we want to make sure that you are set up and know exactly how you're going to be graded, okay? That there's no questions about it. My requirements for grading are actually pretty simple, but obviously every instructor has different requirements. And that is just up to the student to learn your current instructor's requirements, okay? You're required to use Office 365 Word, and that's all because of D2L, not because of me, the downloaded version. You must type into the lab assignment that is given to you, use contrasting color other than black typeface. Text boxes must be used. Handwritten labels are not accepted. Handwritten labs are not accepted. They will not earn credit. So all pictures must be inserted into the lab document in the appropriate section. Pictures will not be accepted in any other files. Everything is to be inserted into the lab document. If you upload 10 different file pictures, you will get credit for 0 of them. So keep that in mind. Even if it's great work, you won't get credit for them because that is not the lab document requirements. All right, like I said, handwritten labs will not be accepted. Only exception is calculation. If I have you do a solutions lab, which is most likely, I will let you write the handwritten calculations. All right, upload the lab report as one document, either a DOCX or a PDF. Okay, several documents will not be accepted. Do not use Cam Scanner to take your pictures of any of your. If I have you take pictures of any of what you're doing for your lab, like your dissections, if I have you take pictures of your graphs, which is the very first lab, do not use Cam Scanner. Now, nowadays, Cam Scanner's actually pretty decent. But when I originally put this out, it was not. It was awful. So I'm thinking they had done some good updates. But how about this? You put your graph on the table, pick up your phone, take a picture of the entire thing, right? Make sure you're not leaving out the labels at the bottom. Make sure you have well-lit room. Make sure you're not getting shadows of your hands, right? Take a picture and then just upload that file picture into your lab document. Then you upload your lab document with one file. Failure to complete using these instructions will earn the student a 0. Alrighty, so all labs are have due dates in your syllabus course schedule. We'll go ahead and look at this here pretty soon. You're responsible to know all your due dates. I am not going to change them unless something happens and I have to push the due date out further. I will never make the due date sooner. All right, online class policy, okay? Attendance policy. Make sure you read that. You still got to attend. You can't just show up at the end of the semester and expect to submit everything because, like I said, this is not an open-ended class. Alrighty, note, online exams, labs, and discussions will occur only on the days specified. If you are using accommodations, they must be approved by accessibility services, and the contract must be given to me prior to the date that the student is wishing to use those accommodations. You cannot backdate it to previous assignments. No retakes of exams, no makeups, okay, except for emergencies. So an excused absence was that, but an unexcused absence is something that a student will earn a 0 for on that grade. This includes anything in our class, quizzes, which we really don't have quizzes. So exams, discussions. Discussions are open for a week. So if you don't have an illness that extends an entire week, that doesn't apply. Your lab reports, kind of the same thing. Lab report availability is several weeks long. And so your lab report for next week is available this week. And so unless it extends over the course of 2 weeks, it's not really valid. Okay. So with that, what is excused? Illness with doctor's note, court date, bereavement, deployment. Now, what is not excused? Vacations, sports, high school obligations. If you have drill on the weekend, that's not considered excused because you have all week availability and long to be doing whatever that assignment and quiz is. Now, if you get deployed and they're like, all of a sudden, you got to be gone for 2 weeks or a month, yes, absolutely, that is excused. So if you need to email me so we can really discuss the application of this excused absence policy, I welcome that. Okay. 5-day testing window. Here is your Respondus lockdown browser testing. Yeah, you can't use iPad, you can't use Chromebook. We've already talked about having the technology. Clear camera. I have a student, I swear, I'm sorry, I think this student took Vaseline and rubbed it on their camera. That way I wouldn't be able to see where their eyes go. Okay, guys, I am so hip to so many ways to cheat. Might not even think and matter of fact, I think cheating even still gets past me. I'm just letting you know, just don't do it. Sometimes students spend more time and effort in cheating than they do actually studying. Why don't you take that effort that you put into cheating and study? Alrighty. Sorry, I didn't mean to get so negative there, but this is necessary. Alrighty, both your face and your screen will be recorded. Audio in your environment will be recorded. I'm having to put this because I've had students have earbuds on and then put a headband on, and then they are talking and taking a test with another student where I could literally go to that other student's recording and listen to it, and where they were being very disrespectful about me because I think I'm not watching videos. So by the way, I watch the videos. So keep that in mind. Use Google Chrome. Students will need to show a government issue picture ID or a home college picture ID. Failure to do this will be minus 10% of your exam total. 10%, not 10 points. Okay. Students are required to show all of your environment 360 degrees prior to starting. So failure to do so will earn 10% from the exam total. No other people can be in the room. I've had people where you just have people walking back and forth, coming in and out. And I get it. If you live in a place that is not your own and your computer is in a room where everybody walks through, I would definitely suggest going to your home college to do this, or doing it when everybody else is at work. All right, no talking the questions out loud. Why? Because you could probably be talking to your AI and let it show you the answers. But honestly, I would not trust AI. It's not there yet. I guarantee it. I have tried a lot of times, several different AI, at least 6 different AI programs to have them make things. But because I know my content, I know it's absolutely wrong. So if you don't know your content, you don't know if it's wrong. All right, make sure your face is in the camera view. No phones, tablets, or additional screens. Some people have several screens set up. I'm sorry, you're just going to have to take those screens down and move them. So your phone is, if it is seen or heard at your desk, you will earn a 0. No earbuds, earphones, hats, headbands can be worn. Like this gets extensive. Every time I find a new way that students cheat, I have to add more. Do not turn off your video during your exam. Doing this will earn you automatic 0. Make sure you have reliable internet, because if you lose internet during it, I can't help you on that. You have to have reliable internet. So if you're not confident, take your exam at a campus, okay? Because for all I know, you turned off your video camera. All right, so if students gets flagged cheating or violates the respondent's testing rules, they will earn a 0 for that exam and will be reported to the dean of students for academic dishonesty. If student does not have the technology or agree to this, testing rules should either drop the course, or you should drop the course and take it face-to-face. There's just no emergency or other closures. Doesn't apply to online courses. Classroom civility. Classroom civility, hey, don't disrespect other students or me, because I will report you to the dean of students after a first conversation. If it continues, I'll report you. You are here in a classroom that I am facilitating, and other students are also present. You should be respecting everybody, just like you expect them to show you respect, okay? We all had a bad day, but maybe you make a friend instead of making a foe. All righty. Communication with instructor, I've already talked about that. Course communication in the discussion board. Anything else, you can email me using your student email address. Here is my communication response. We've talked about that. Grading policy, please read this. It is subject to change, but I don't really see why it would, unless for some reason I made a typo or I just can't calculate. No late assignments. We've already talked about that. Extra credit opportunities, a little bit, but no individual. So please don't email the instructor asking for individualized extra credit, especially at the end of the course where you have a 69.99 and you absolutely need a C. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So, because a 69.99999 is a D. I do not round up. It is not not only my policy, but the department's policy to round. All righty. Whoa, this is a lot, guys. Hey, if you would like to take advantage of services such as tutoring services, basic needs, if you need help getting your utility bill, they have ways to show you how to get assistance. Now, in the changing environment of the United States, I don't know how these services have changed, but I still encourage you to try. All righty, so we got all that. Academic honesty, we've already talked about that. Here is your course schedule. Your exams always have a window, Sunday to Thursday. Discussions, first post on Wednesday, replies by Sunday. Lab assignments always due on Sunday. Here is the actual course schedule laid out by each week. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and slide down here because there is one little change. If you see a little change, not a change, but something different. Module 4 exam. Say this holiday is November 26th through November 30th. Okay, because of that, the exam is actually available on Friday, the 21st to Tuesday, the 25th. That way you can go to holiday on the 26th. Wow, we are so almost there. Let's see. We covered everything. I told you I was going to try to make this 30 minutes. I knew it wasn't going to happen. But I also want to show you some resources. My online tutoring at CCCS. This is where you can access your tutoring. And that's all she wrote. So, like I said, please review everything. And don't forget, you have to write down all of those little icons that I've been providing for you. That way you can take your syllabus quiz. Class, I look forward to getting to know you better throughout the semester. I'm really excited. This is actually a pretty cool class that you've chosen. All right. Thank you.